नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So anyone remembers in last class what we discussed? किसी को याद है लास्ट क्लास में क्या डिस्कस किया था? So in the last class we started the yes माता जी
प्रभु हमने क्विज किया था लास्ट
नहीं क्विज के बाद भी एक और क्लास हुआ था
हाँ एक
सांख्य योग
सांख्य योग so we started second chapter which is called as content of Gita summarized or Sankhya Yoga. In this chapter we covered the 3 verses and this chapter is the summary, in a way summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita, right? So we understood 3 verses that how Krishna, he was rejecting the so-called compassion of Arjuna, his compassion based on bodily concept he was rejecting. And what is the real compassion? Real compassion is the compassion for the real self, that is spirit soul. We are the Atma, we are the spirit soul, and compassion for our own self. What is that? To make spiritual progress, to come out of this material world, to come out of the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. That is the real compassion for ourselves, for others. So that is the real compassion. So now we'll move forward for the 4th and 5th verse. I'll share. So here is the 4th verse. Please repeat after me. We'll chant the shloka. Arjuna Vacha Katham Vishmam Aham Sankhye Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubi Pratiyotsyami Pujjarva Harisudana. Anyone would like to chant? कोई chant करना चाहेगा वर्स को, श्लोक को? Please try.
Okay, I can try. Arjuna uvacha katham bhishmam aham sankhye dronam ka madhusudana ishubhi pratiyotsyami ujjar hav arisudana sudana
Sudana. Yes. Anyone else? कोई और भी ट्राई करना चाहेगा?
मैं करूं प्रभु जी?
Yes, please करिए.
कथम भीष्मम अहम सांख्ये द्रोणम च मधुसूदन इषुभि प्रतियोत्स्यामि पुजारव अरिसूदन.
Wonderful. Anyone else? कोई और भी ट्राई करना चाहेगा?
कथनम भीष्मम अहम सांख्ये द्रोणम च मधुसूदनम इषुभि प्रतियोत्स्यामि Pujarati Harisudana.
Very nice. So we'll move to the translation. Translation: Arjuna said, "O killer of Madhu, Krishna, how can I counteract with arrows in the battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? But respectable superiors like Bhishma, the grandfather, and the Dronacharya, the teacher, are always worshipable. Even if they attack, they should not be counteracted. It is general etiquette that the superior are not to be offered even a verbal fight, even if they are sometimes harsh in the behavior. They should not be harshly treated. Then, how is it possible for Arjuna to counteract them? Did Krishna ever attack his own grandfather, Ugrasena, or his teacher, Sandipni Muni? These were some of the arguments by Arjuna to Krishna. It's a very wonderful verse this is. Before this verse, if we see second or third verse, how Krishna, he was rebuking Arjuna. How he was rebuking Arjuna, he was saying how these impurities have come upon you, that you are acting like a anarya justam asavargyam. You are acting like an anarya. You have acting as though you don't know the progressive values of the life. And all these, your actions will lead to infamy. This is what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Next verse, he is telling, O son of Pratha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weaknesses in your heart and arise. So Krishna, he is chastising, or he is subduing, or he is rebuking Arjuna for his weakness. That this war you should fight. You should not act like a anarya. Anarya is the person who does not lead his life according to the scriptures, or who does not make a spiritual progress in his life. That is the person who is known as anarya. And you should not lead your life in that way. Krishna is telling to Arjuna. So now Arjuna is presenting his argument. He is counteracting. How is counteracting? He is addressing first of all Krishna as a Madhusudana. Madhusudana means killer of demon Madhu. There were two demons, Madhu and Kaitaba. So Krishna, he killed Madhu. After killing this Madhu demon, is known as Madhusudana. Krishna, he is known by various names such as Yashodanandan, Devkinandan, Vasudev. This so many names he has based on his activities or based on his relationship with the devotees. So this Madhusudana is the name because he has killed the demon by name Madhu. Now he is addressing again Krishna as a Arisudana. Ari means killer of, Ari means enemy. Sudana means killer. Oh, killer of the enemy. He is addressing. Why he is addressing Arjuna? Is addressing Krishna as a Arisudana or Madhusudana? Because he is pointing out Krishna that you have killed always your enemies or your demons. He is not known as Yashoda Sudana, Vasudev Sudana, or Ugrasena Sudana, or Sandipni Sudana. No, he is always addressed as Madhu Sudana or Hari Sudana. So Arjuna, he is pointing Krishna that you are asking me to kill my own grandfather, my own teacher, who are worthy of my worship, whereas you have killed only your enemies. You have not killed your grandfather Ugrasena. You have not killed your teacher Sandipni Muni. Whereas you are asking me to counteract. As per Dharma Shastra, even teacher or this grandfather, or for that matter any such worshipable relation like father, mother, even though they commit any mistake, they are worthy to be worshipped. They should not be counteracted. This is what Arjuna is presenting his argument. They are worthy of worship. They should not be counteracted. Whereas Arthashastra, what Arthashastra says, aggressor should not be left. He should be killed. Aggressor should be killed. You should not forgive. You should not show your mercy to the aggressor. Kshatriya should not show his mercy to the aggressor. Atataina. He should kill the aggressor. In fact, during this Mahabharata, Krishna, he reminds Arjuna that during the time when this Draupadi, she was getting insulted, she approached various ministers. One of them was this Dronacharya and Bhishma. She approached them also. And she in fact asked one question. What she asked? She asked, how is it possible that Bhima, who lost himself, Bhima, he lost himself in the gamble match. Now, how he can gamble me? What authority does he have to gamble me? On what basis he is gambling me in this match? This is the question Draupadi, she asked to Bhishma and Drona. And Krishna reminds to Arjuna how this Bhishma and Drona, they were silent. And he says this Mona, this silent, is represent that they are giving their support to Duryodhana. They are giving their support to Duryodhana, who is following the path of Adharma. Krishna is telling, even though they are the right, they are worthy to be worshipable, but they should not be left. They should be killed because they have chosen the path of Adharma. They have insulted a devotee. Krishna can tolerate anything, but he cannot tolerate disrespect or an offense to his devotee. Cannot tolerate that. That is very important to understand. That even though we may lead our life with all the good moral principles, but if we commit offense towards the devotee of Krishna, then our downfall is assured. One such example was of Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni, he was the very exalted yogi. He has attained lot of siddhis. Once he went to Maharaja Ambrish, who observed Ekadashi fasting. Today is Ekadashi. So he observed Ekadashi fasting, and when he was supposed to break his fasting, after giving charity to the Brahmanas and performing various rituals and all these things, when he was about to break his fast, Durvasa Muni came there. and he was very happy to receive Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni, he invited Durvasa Muni, will break the fast. And Durvasa Muni, he told, I'll complete my morning rituals, I'll go and take bath, and I'll come back to you. So he said, okay. He waited for Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni, he went, he took bath, completed his morning rituals. Meantime, this Muhurta was getting over to break the fast. So Maharaj Amrisha was very concerned. He was very concerned that this fasting, what I am doing, Ekadashi fasting, I am doing for the pleasure of the Lord. And now, if I don't break this fast, it will displease to the Lord. It will be the offense for this fasting, Ekadashi, and it will displease to the Lord. So he asked various saintly persons what to do in such situation. So the solution he arrived was to take water, drink water, and drinking water is as good as you have break the fast also, and it is as good as you have not break fast also. So you take water. And why this Amrish Maharaj, he was not taking any grain to break the fast? Because he had Durvasa Muni. First he want to serve Durvasa Muni. It is a dharma. It is a principle that without feeding the sadhus, we cannot break the Ekadashi fast. So he approached, he drank the water, and Durvasa Muni arrived. So Durvasa Muni, he could understand, because he is a Trikali Agni, he is a yogi, he could understand that Amrish Maharaj has broke his fast by drinking water. So he became very angry. He became very angry, and he was about to curse Amrish Maharaj. And Amrish Maharaj is a very exalted devotee of Krishna. So what Krishna he did? Krishna has appointed Sudarshan Chakra in the security, in the service of Amrish Maharaj, to give protection to Amrish Maharaj. He has appointed Sudarshan Chakra. So as soon as he was about to harm Amrish Maharaj, about to curse Amrish Maharaj, Sudarshan Chakra ran behind the Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni is trying to protect himself. He is running here, there, everywhere, nook and corner of the entire creation he ran, but he could not save himself. He approached Brahma, he approached Lord Shiva, but nobody could save. In fact, he went to Vishnu to seek protection. He could not get any protection. Lord Vishnu, he says, you have offended a pure Vaishnava, pure devotee. Therefore, it is not in my jurisdiction to take off this Sudarshana. I cannot protect you. Only solution is if you go and ask forgiveness from my devotee Vaishnava, who is a pure Vaishnava, Amrish Maharaj, this Sudarshan can lead you. So this Durvasa Muni, he went and asked Amrish Maharaj forgiveness, and that's how he was protected. So same way, Krishna, he could not tolerate the insult to his devotees. That's why he is encouraging Arjuna. Arjuna, you fight. But now Arjuna is presenting argument that how I can counteract with arrows. These men are worshipable of my. These are worshipable. How I can counteract? How I can kill? It is not possible. You have not. You have only killed your enemies, not to your teachers or grandfather. So how? Why you are asking me to kill? Next verse. This is also very interesting. Gurunatva hi आहुनुभाव श्रेयो भोक्तुं भविष्यामि अपि लोके अत्वार्थे कामस्तु भ्रूणैव भुञ्जेय भोगान् लुब्धेर परिदृगान्. Translation: It is better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though they are avaricious, they are nonetheless superiors. If they are killed, their spoils will be tainted with blood. But according to the scriptural code, a teacher who engages in an abominable action and has lost his sense of discrimination is fit to be abandoned. Bhishma and Drona were obliged to take the side of the Duryodhana because of his financial assistance. Although they should not have accepted such a position simply on a financial considerations. Under the circumstances, they have lost the respectability of teachers. But Arjuna thinks that nevertheless they remain his superiors, and therefore to enjoy material profits after killing them would mean to enjoy spoils tainted with blood. So here Arjuna is telling it is better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of lives of great souls. So Arjuna is a great warrior. What made him that he is telling it is better to live in this world by begging? If we see entire world is running behind the wealth, entire world is running behind the money, and Arjuna is ready to leave such opulence, and he is ready even to beg. What is that? Very important thing here to understand is, if we see even in this entire world, there are the nations who are very civilized, very rich, very powerful. For an example, US, if we see, US is the one of the richest nation with most civilized person. Lot of rich people they are staying in US. But still, if you see on the happiness index itself, US has fallen from its position. Year after year, its position is getting lower. Last year it was some 2-3 years back, it was some 15th position. US was on 15th position. This year, US is on 23rd position on the happiness index. And crime rates in US are increasing. People are getting depressed. People are getting anxiety, lot of mental issues, health issues, even though US is one of the richest nation. Even though US is one of the civilized nation or people where they live very in civilized way. So what is that reason? Even though they have all the wealth, they are still not happy. Same thing is happening here with Arjuna. He is also telling, I am ready to live by begging rather than at the cost of life of the great souls. So it is very, very important to understand about wealth is how wealth is accumulated, how money is accumulated. And Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, which is very important, is how we get the money, what is the source of money rather than how much money we have. That is very important. Krishna is telling. He is telling Anya Artha Sanchaya. What happens when we get greedy? When we get greedy, we try to get money in Sanchaya, means accumulate money in illegal way also. Try to accumulate money in legal ways. Especially when money comes, this wealth, whatever we earn, that wealth comes by telling lie, by harming others, by performing any sin, by killing other, by cheating other. That kind of wealth is always going to bring destruction. That kind of wealth brings the destruction. It will create havoc in our life. It will create havoc in our life. And in which way we earn money, that is much more important. And Bhagavad Gita talks about the three ways of getting the wealth. The three ways one get wealth. One is Satvika Sampada, Rajasic and Tamasic. The wealth you acquire in a Sattvic way, Rajasic way, Tamasic way. And how to understand that what the wealth we have acquired is in Rajasic, Sattvic or Tamasic is by its consequences. By what consequences it brings. That consequences we can understand this wealth is going to has come through which source, Sattvic, Rajasic or Tamasic. We being very less intelligent, we are very much considered about how much money we have rather than what source it has come from. Whereas the money that we acquire, we can enjoy only when it has come in a sattvic way. We may think that we'll be able to enjoy by accumulating more and more money. I will able to enjoy. I will able to give all the comforts to myself, to my family members. But it will not happen. It will not happen. Suppose money has been acquired in a Rajasic or Tamasic way. What will be the consequences? The consequences will be that it will always destroy the peace of our mind. Will be full of anxiety. Getting that money will be full of anxiety. We may get sick. That money will go in some dispute. That money may go as a this thing like we in hospitals when we get admitted, we get sick. You need a lot of money for the treatment. So that money may go in these treatments, in the disputes. That money may go. That money may get looted, and that money will bring. In fact, you may get loss of the property by fire, by all such things. You may get robbed. It means that money has come through unauthorized ways, not as per dharma. Whereas Upanishads and the Shastras, various Shastras, they say this human life is meant for spiritual upliftment, to make spiritual progress, to make uddhara. This human life is meant for that purpose. And same side, scripture says wealth or money plays a very important role. In fact, in Mahabharata, Bhima says that this wealth is needed for what purpose? To lay down the foundation of dharma, to spread the dharma. This wealth is required. To protect the dharma, wealth is required. Just like to protect knowledge, how one can protect the knowledge? By distributing it, by sharing it with others. Knowledge can be protected. Same way, how dharma can be protected? Through wealth. The scripture says wealth has a very important role to play. But same wealth can be a cause of destruction. If one is greedy, what kind of greedy? I want for myself. I want to enjoy it for my happiness. Having more and more money gives me happiness. Such wealth is always going to give trouble. When we have such kind of understanding or such kind of mindset, will be full of chintam, means always thinking of wealth, always full of anxiety also. So here if we see Bhishma and Drona, they took the side of Duryodhana. They took the side of Duryodhana because of Duryodhana provided financial assistance to them. So wealth, because of this wealth, Bhishma and Drona, they served Duryodhana. Earlier, wealth used to be the servant of those who follow the dharma. And this is one of the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Now we have become the servant of the wealth, and we don't want to follow dharma. Some way or other way, we want to get the money. We want to accumulate more and more money. So wealth, earlier the thing was, the concept how this wealth used to come is Lakshmi, in a way we can say. How one used to get Lakshmi? By following the dharma, automatically Lakshmi used to reside in that place. Nowadays, what is our mentality? We want more and more Lakshmi, but not by following dharma, by becoming demonic in nature, just like Ravana. We want to kidnap the Sita, Lakshmi. Bhagavad Gita says, further we'll see how people, they think today I have this much, tomorrow I will get more by my schemes, by my own ideas. I will accumulate more and more money in the future. So same way, demonic people like Ravana, he kidnapped Sita. He want to enjoy Sita. Whereas Lord Hanuman, what is his intention? This Mother Sita belongs to Lord Ram. I must free Mother Sita so that she can come back to his position, her position with Lord Ram. So earlier, the thing was, people used to follow dharma. They used to worship Lord Krishna. We being the part and parcel of Krishna, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mamevamsha Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We being part and parcel of Krishna, when we serve Krishna, when we follow the dharma, what is that? Always remember Krishna. When people used to follow that dharma, automatically Lakshmi used to come to that house or that place, so that that person can serve Krishna better, in a better way. In fact, Brahma says millions of Lakshmi are engaged in Krishna's service for his pleasure. Same way, when people used to follow dharma, automatically they were very rich, they were very peaceful, they were free from all the anxiety, they were happy, they were content, they were satisfied in their life. And this is what, if you see this India, thousands of years back, some 10, 12 centuries back, this is what was the condition of India. They were very happy, they were very peaceful, they were very rich, very cultured, very happy, they were very peaceful. Why? Because they were following dharma. When dharma is followed, all the richness will come automatically. And when dharma is not followed, then this nature will not supply sufficient resources so that we can become rich. That will not happen. That will not happen. In fact, after hearing the entire message of Bhagavad Gita, what Sanjay he is saying at the end of Bhagavad Gita, he is saying, Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, Yatra Parthar Dhanurtara, Tatra Shriya Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will be also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power. Wherever there is a Krishna, there is a Arjuna, there is a power, victory, opulence, Shriya. All that will be there. So when we serve Krishna, automatically all these things, wealth will be there to enjoy peacefully. And such wealth, when it comes, we can enjoy. Whereas, if you see in Rajasic or Tamasic way, when we acquire the wealth, it brings the destruction. Whereas Sattvic way, when we earn the wealth in a Sattvic way, will be very much inspired or will be engaged that wealth in the service of Krishna, in the welfare of other living entities, in welfare of our own self, for our own spiritual progress, as well as others' spiritual progress. That is how people used to utilize their wealth. And even when they utilize their wealth, they are much more happier than they enjoying for themselves. That is very important thing to understand here or to learn here. And this is what Arjuna is telling here in this verse. He is telling, if that wealth, what is the use of such wealth which is tainted with the blood of my own people who are great souls, who are my teacher, who are worthy of worship, Bhishma, Drona. If that wealth is tainted with that blood, how I can enjoy? I cannot enjoy that wealth. It is better for me to live by begging than wealth which has come by the blood of this Bhishma and Drona. So that's why Arjuna, he is rejecting such wealth which has come through a dharma. He is thinking, as per Dharma Shastra, he is thinking, this Bhishma and Drona, they are my teachers, they are my respectable grandfather, teacher, they are worthy to be worshipped. And if I kill them, this wealth is of no use. This wealth is of no use. Whereas, what Krishna is saying as per Artha Shastra, even that guru who is forget to discriminate what is right or what is wrong, who commits a abominable action or who is not acting properly, is acting improperly, that guru is fit to be abandoned. A teacher who engages in abominable action has lost his sense of discrimination, is fit to be abandoned. What is the example of such guru? Is the Shukracharya. Bali Maharaj, he rejected Shukracharya because Shukracharya told not to give charity to the Brahmana, who is Vishnu himself. So such guru is fit to be abandoned. And Krishna Shastra is what? His devotees cannot be insulted. To protect his devotees, he is ready to do whatever is required to establish the dharma. He is ready to do even kill all these respectable persons. So that is very important, that when we engage ourselves in Krishna's service, we'll acquire the wealth which we'll be able to enjoy very peacefully, will be satisfied. That is very important. That wealth will give satisfaction to us, peace to our mind, happiness to us. That is very important. And how to serve Krishna? By chanting his holy name, by doing the Sankirtana Yagna. That is the solution in the Kali Yuga, to perform Sankirtana Yagna. That is all for today. If anyone has any question or anything to ask, please feel free to ask or share.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
How are you?
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hello. Hare Krishna. How are you, Prabhuji?
I'm good. I'm good.
Actually, I have one question, although not related to this session, but still
worries.
I have a query that while we do this vrat, Ekadashi vrat, and any type of vrat, then there is a paran time which is mentioned over there. So what is the significance of that paran time? I mean, what is that? I don't understand that paran thing.
Okay, so the thing is, first of all, whenever we do fasting, or any fasting, for that matter, Ekadashi, Janmashtami, any fasting, so every fasting has certain rules and regulations. How to observe, what to do, what not to do, all these things are recommended as per Shastras. And coming to this paran time is the time when that fast has to be break. उस fast को break किया जाता है, तोड़ा जाता है. That is the paran time, and that is the like favorable time to break that fast or complete that fast. Like Ekadashi, suppose today is Ekadashi, right? So Ekadashi started today during sunrise. Ekadashi was the tithi during the sunrise, right? So tomorrow during sunrise, Dwadashi will be the tithi, and tomorrow will be considered as a Dwadashi. So in Dwadashi, fast has to be break. Ekadashi fast has to be break. It is very important. And after sunrise, there is a particular time period, some muhurtas, which this fast is break. So that this Ekadashi fast is completed. That is the process. Now, Prabhupada, he has not said is this paran time to be hard and fast rule. What is very important is we must break our fast during the Dwadashi Tithi. Dwadashi day we should break it. After sunrise we should break the fast. That is very important. Paran time is also during that time only. So this paran time is not that much, hard and fast rule as following Ekadashi. Ekadashi following is very important than this paran time. Paran time can be little bit here, there, it can be adjustable. Okay. Prabhupada has not recommended so much hard and fast food for this quarantine. But following Ekadashi, he has recommended. That is very important.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So,
I got this
yeah.
thing now.
So that is the process. Every fast has certain processes to be followed.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Prabhu. Can I
Yes.
ask, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Yes, but see, actually, I'm working as just a teacher in a school, Prabhu. My duty is only imparting knowledge, nothing else, Prabhu. But the consequences of my little money, what I get, and the consequences is very, I get anger. That anger also comes. I don't know what gunas that fall under, what the wealth that I get, money that I get from teaching, which gunas that it comes under, Prabhu. And consequences actually is what happens. Anger, too much of anger is there, and which gunas that why I get that I can't understand, Prabhu.
Yes. So all these, especially anger, greed, kama, krodha, lobha, these are the three primary or very important thing which bind us in this material world. These are the three various significant anarthas, you can say, which bind to this material world, especially anger. And the thing is, getting free from this anger is not so easy. And in Bhagavad Gita, further we'll see in the second chapter itself, Krishna, how he says that anger is very, very destructive in the nature. How anger destroys our intelligence itself. And when that intelligence is lost, we fall into the material pool. So anger is very, very destructive in nature, very dangerous for one person. So now, how to get free from this anger? As you have mentioned that as you have a profession of teaching to the students. So first of all, it is very obvious when students, they are not, acting as per our desire. And nowadays, students itself is very difficult to manage. It is not at all easy, right? So it's very natural also to get angry. But we have to understand one more thing here. Whenever we get anger, we have to think for a while, because this anger is going to destroy myself, not to anyone else. I will get destroyed by this anger. Krishna is telling, Kamesha Krodesha Rajoguna Samudbhava. This Kama and Krodha comes out of Rajoguna, right? And when this comes, it destroys our own self. We fall into the material pool. So very important thing is how one can get free from this Kama or Krodha. When we serve Krishna, all the divine qualities will start manifesting. All this, and it is a gradual process, not overnight. Overnight, we cannot conquer our anger. Whenever we get anger, first of all, we should reflect, we should think about that anger. And second thing is, we should engage in Krishna service. When we engage in Krishna service, what happens? All the divine qualities will start manifesting. So this anger will easily go away. Just like if you see Vishwamitra Muni, he performed austerity. And what happened? When he got angry, his all the tapas shakti, whatever tapas shakti he has acquired, entire tapas shakti has gone. Again he meditated. Again he does tapasya. Again he got angry. Again his entire tapas shakti is gone. So gradually he conquered his anger. How? By engaging in Krishna service, by doing more and more tapasya. So same way, when we do more and more tapasya in our life, by serving Krishna, by chanting his holy name, we can get free from this anger. Otherwise, there is no other solution. Other solution may be very temporary. Just like suppose water is there. If that water has some dust particles, you keep that water for a time, what will happen? Entire dust will get settled down. But as soon as you little bit, if you shake that water, again dust particle will get mixed up. Same way, what happens when we try to subdue this anger or various other anarthas in artificial way, it will work for a temporary time. For some time being, it will work, not for long period. So what is the solution? The solution is just like for that glass, water glass which is containing dust, if you keep pouring fresh water into it, entire dusty water will go out. You can do it at your house also, you can try, entire dusty water will go out. Same way, when we keep pouring positive thoughts, especially Krishna in our mind, thoughts related to Krishna, by chanting Hare Krishna mantra and all these things, when we keep pouring in our mind, entire mind starts getting clean. Entire mind consciousness get clean. We get free from all these anarthas, all these impurities. So that is the solution.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, so much.
Anyone has any other question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have one question.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, how do we filter out whether the way we are accumulating wealth is a sattvic way, rajasic way, or a tamasic way? Like, what's the criteria we can judge whether our actions are in line with the source?
Got it. Whether it is aligned as per dharma or not.
Yes.
So in Kali Yuga, first of all, we have to understand Kali Yuga is the age where everything is degraded. Even the purest way you try to earn the money, it will be full of contamination. Suppose, like when I was working, there was one more person, one of my known person, he was also working. So he is working as per, very nicely he's performing his duty, very nicely he's working. But the thing is, he is working for some company which is engaged in slaughtering the animals. He was a data analyst. He was into data analytics and all. So he was, analyzing that by doing all this data analysis, what I am doing, I am giving the data by which the clients of this company can do more and more meat selling. They can sell more and more meat, more and more non-veg into the market, Russian market and all, how they can increase their sales and production of non-veg. And for that, he was doing data analysis. So indirectly, he is not, if you see directly, he is not engaged in sin, but indirectly he is engaged. So what he did, he left his job. Even though it was one of the, very nice, high paid salary, everything very nice, but he left this job. Why? Because indirectly he is doing the adharma. So same way, what happens, it is very important for us, just like we are working for somebody, even though company is very nice, everything, it's happening very nice way. But suppose the boss or the owner of that company is utilizing the money in sinful activities. Suppose he has a habit of drinking, he has a habit of womanizing, all such any sinful activities he is performing. So what will happen? You will also get the karma. You will also get it fruit or reaction for that. So in Kali Yuga, very important to understand. It is very difficult, next to impossible. It is to get wealth or money in a pure way. So what is the solution? Solution, as scripture says, and in fact, Vyasadeva, he says in Mahabharata, the solution is that to perform the yagna is the solution. To engage that money in Krishna conscious activity. To engage that wealth in Krishna conscious activity in the like temple construction, in propagating holy name, in propagating message of Krishna, all such way when that money is utilized, that is the way to purify it. In fact, businessman, when he does business, he says to his customers, I'm not earning any profit from you. I'm hardly earning any profit from you. There is no money I am saving on this. He is telling lie. And without telling lie, he cannot earn money also. Right? So what is the solution? The solution is when he earn money and engage that profit in the service of Krishna, his money get purified. Krishna says in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what he is saying, Yagnartha karmano netra loko yam karma bandhana tardartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samacharam. Perform the yagna for his satisfaction. When you perform yagna for his satisfaction, you can be free from the bondage of this material world. Otherwise, you will be bind to the bondage of this material world. You will bind and you will suffer the miseries. So that is the solution. When because the first thing is, whatever way you try to earn money, it will be always contaminated, and contaminated money will always bring contamination to our mind. Just like when we visit Delhi, we see how people, even though they have so much money, how they engage their money. Lot of nowadays, any nook and corner you go, you will find a liquor shop. You will find all such things. So people are engaging their money in all such activities. So what is happening? More and more sufferings are coming to them. So that is very important thing. So we have to purify that money. Money source will be contaminated, no doubt, but there is a process to purify that money by performing the yagna. And this is what Vyasadeva says in Mahabharata, that in Kali Yuga, one of the biggest austerity is to do dana. Dana, yagna, all these are the austerities in the Kali Yuga. So hope it helps you, gives you proper understanding.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Beautifully explained. I want just clarity on that.
Yes.
You gave an example of your friend data analyst who was working for a company who was engaged in the slaughtering of the animals. So if we take that example only, and that person gives that money for temple construction, so would that be considered okay, that if that person keep doing the same job and keep working for a company who is engaged in the slaughtering of the animals?
Yes. So the thing was, no doubt he was giving. Before, when he was working for that company, he used to give for all Krishna conscious activities, like as you said, temple construction and all. He used to give his money. But the thing is, he is feeling that is, especially Shastra says that killing of another living entity is the grossest sin, is the most abominable sin. So his concern is, I want to even get free from such sin, and I want to switch my job so that I can get another job, and I will continue again. Before also he is engaging his wealth in all these things, but he is telling what is the use, because he is seeing grossly that it is a sinful activity which is happening. Suppose you are there, suppose anyone is there. If we kill, suppose if we our child is there, if we kill that child for the sake of some material benefit or comfort, is okay? Morally it is not at all okay. Same way, he is thinking it is a grossest sin, it is the most abominable sin, so I should switch immediately. So he switched immediately. It took, I guess, it took some time searching and all, but he left his job immediately and he continued. So that is the
Yeah.
thing actually. When we are seeing that sin is performed, grossest way of sin is performed, abominable sin is performed, aghora papam is happening, we should immediately, whatever it takes, we should immediately get free from that aghora papa and continue to serve Krishna. It is not like, suppose, oh, I am doing this aghora papa, or directly or indirectly I am engaged in doing aghora papa or this sinful activity, and I am serving Krishna also. It is like you go take bath and again you come back and take all of the dust, pura dust se kar liya, naha liya. Again we took a bath of dust. So that is of no use. So that's why we should try our best to get free from all kind of sin.
Thank you, Prabhu, for clarifying.
Any other question or anything?
Prabhuji,
Yes.
yeah, but what you said just now, I think that it's now in this Kali Yuga, it's very, very difficult for anyone to look for a job or any corporate, I mean, to join any corporate where there is no sinful activities going on. I mean,
Right.
so, but we have to earn our bread and butter also.
Yes.
We have to run our family and we have to do that. So it is very difficult to. So how to? I mean, how to abstain from these things? How to keep ourselves abstain from these things? I mean.
Yes. So the solution is, suppose if you are seeing, I am directly or indirectly, means moreover directly, becoming the part or supporting that sinful activity. Just like I shared this case, he was seeing, because of my analysis, because of I am providing such data to optimize their sales and production of selling the meat or this thing in various nations or countries. So he is telling, he is immediately want to get free from this. So we should analyze, if my activity is so much abominable, I am the immediate cause. First of all, I should try my best to get free from such activity. And second thing, in this Kali Yuga, it is not at all possible to get the wealth or money in the pure way. Either you have to tell lie, or you have to cheat somebody. You have to, whatever, something, some kind of sin will be always there. It will be, in some way or other, it will be some kind of contamination will be there. So the solution is, we have to purify that money by offering it to Krishna. Some portion when we offer it for the yagna for Krishna, what happens? It get purified. When it get purified, that money is ready. Just like this Ravan. Ravan wants to enjoy Mother Sita. Whereas Hanuman, he knows that Mother Sita belongs to Lord Ram, and I want Mother Sita back with Lord Ram only. So the money that we get is, suppose if we don't offer that money is kind of Ravan mentality. I want to enjoy. It is for my benefit. It is for my satisfaction. I have earned this money. मेरे खून पसीने का कमाई है, for my enjoyment. But when we offer it to Krishna, because everything belongs to Krishna, Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate. From me everything has emanated, everything belongs to me. When we offer that money to Krishna, it gets purified. It becomes the Lakshmi. Otherwise, it is Maya. Otherwise, it is Maya. It becomes the Lakshmi. When that Lakshmi, when we offer it to Krishna, it becomes Lakshmi. That brings the prosperity in our life. That brings the happiness in our life. That brings the peace in our life. Otherwise, it will be always cause of some sort of disturbance in our life. Some sort of disturbance it will be. We may not be healthy. We'll be suffering from some kind of disease. This so many things will be there. So that's why in Kali Yuga, it's not at all possible to get money in the purest way, free from contamination. The only solution is engage in the service of Krishna. And whatever is there, remaining portion, just like there was a Goswami, one of the prominent Goswami, his name was Rupa Goswami. He was very rich, very big scholar, very exalted devotee. He was working on Nawab Hussain Shah of Calcutta, and lot of money he used to have. He knows various language also, Persian, Arabian, all these things, because they were engaged in business activities also. So when he came to, he got an inspiration to become a devotee or to take part in Lord Chaitanya's movement. Whatever money he had, he accumulated that money. He loaded that entire money in the very large boat. It is said in today's world that money will be crores of rupees. That much money he was having. So what he did, 50% of that money he gave away to the Brahmanas who are engaged in Krishna conscious activities, who are engaged to spread the message of Krishna. He gave 50% of his money to such people. Then next 25% of money he gave to his relatives, his friends, family members for their well-being. And next 25% portion he kept for himself. And when his brother also wanted to serve Lord Chaitanya, he was in jail, his brother was in jail. So he utilized that 25% for his brother to get free and spread this Krishna conscious movement to become a devotee to serve Krishna. So that is the way they utilize acharyas, they shows how to utilize the money. So money is something which is very sensitive thing. The source of money, from where it has come, what kind of consequence it brings. Nowadays, people are not bothered about consequences. They are only bothered about how much money I can get. Whereas scriptures are giving much more pressure on what consequences it brings rather than how much you have. So that is very important. So only solution is when we engage in Krishna service, it get purified. Get purified. Yes. Any other question? So this wealth has very important part to play. Especially it is meant to make spiritual progress in our life. Otherwise, this Lakshmi is very chanchala, will not stay for longer time. This wealth is very temporary. When it is engaged in Krishna's service, especially Acharyas explain, Nirbandha Sambandha Krishna, Yukta Vairagya Uttama. When something is get connected with Krishna, even though it may not have a relationship with Krishna, if we connect that thing with Krishna, that is the highest level of renunciation. Because everything belongs to Krishna, when it is engaged in Krishna's service, that is the highest level of renunciation. Suppose a person is there, he has a very big company, and I am working there as an employee, but I am not working for him. whatever resources are there in that company, I'm utilizing it for some other purpose. So that is cheating. So same way, everything belongs to Krishna. When it is engaged in Krishna service, that is the highest level of renunciation. So anyone has any question or anything to ask? Bhagavad Gita ki
जय हरे कृष्ण
ki
जय
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु हरे
Thank
कृष्ण
you.
कृष्ण प्रभु जी हरे
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare